Hey guys, this is Tigress coming back to you with Marvel Rivals. And I know this is a day late, and I am generally sorry for that. It's just a case of, like, I wasn't feeling 100% yesterday, which... I do know a good bit of stuff that's now coming, like I said, guys, I don't know if it's because of this heat, or whether because it was, like, a headache that I had. And yeah, I know it doesn't sound too bad, but, like, I 100% was not feeling in the mood of streaming. I just wasn't feeling 100%, so I was like, you know what, I'll push it back by a day. I did it last week by accident, but again, I don't want to miss stream, so if I can do it at some point before our next stream Overwatch, I will generally try. But going over the new stuff today for Season 9.5, new event. Now, I think Storm, is potentially getting a new skin at some point. I heard there was one of them. Now, there is new team-ups. Because there is, the Hood has now been introduced into the game. And guys, I'm gonna be honest with you now. I know jack shit about the Hood. My only knowledge of this character is from a show called Ironheart, which says everything. Now, there was a big villain that turned into the Ender, and I'm like, wait, this is how they're introducing Naveling into the MCU? I believe it was Mephisto. I believe was the villain. And if he's been in the MCU before now, then I've either not seen the project or completely forgot. But his sinful blackout suit does generally look nicer than his base. But then again, his suit's supposed to look kind of raggedy and all that lot, so his hood not looking... I prefer it not looking raggedy, but it's meant to. But what I do know about the Hood, guys, it's this regular dude with this power who, as far as I'm aware, at least MCU-wise, made a deal with Mephisto to get extraordinary powers. And I've seen some of the hero interactions with this character, and a lot of them essentially in the way of, your aura is absolutely terrible, you shouldn't be using that power, remove the Hood. Get rid of it. And then there's just Luna Snows, which is just, like, nice. She's being, like, generally nice to him, and it's like, no, Luna, don't be nice to him, he's a dick. I am happy that we're getting a Vanguard. Like, I was about to say, why is it? And it said, no wait, no, that is Vanguard. That is Vanguard. I'm happy we've gone a season without a DPS character. Because we had Jubilee at the beginning, we've had the Hood now, which I do think is kind of weird. Granted, I'd prefer a Vanguard or a strategist any day of the week over another DPS, because they are already outnumbering Vanguard and support. Like, tanks and supports are already outnumbered by DPS, they don't need to be further outnumbered. I think Season 3 was the last time we got a season without them. Because I have double checked this, I just can't remember who we got Season 3. No, Jean was introduced during Season 3. Season 4? I think the last season was Gambit and Rogue back in, like, Season 5. It might have been Season 2. Because it's rare that we have no seasons with DPS. So Season 5 was the last season that we didn't, and it would have had to be in Season 2. Yeah, Emma Frost and Ultron was introduced in Season 2. But I did see something recently about someone saying, like, going over, like, with the fact of saying the fact of that what everyone knows is we have too many DPSs in this game. And someone's like, have we ever had a season with 2 DPS? Yes, season 3. Now, I remember one of them being Jean. But Blade was also apparently introduced during that season. Because it wasn't season 1, because that was the Fantastic Four. Wasn't season 2, because that was Ultron and Emma. Wasn't season 4, because that was Angela and... I've just double checked, that was Angela and someone. But no, it was like Blade and Jean. I remember Jean because again, I like Jean Grey. She's a cool character. The Phoenix powers are just cool. It still slightly bugs me the fact that the MCU decided to hide who Sadie Sink was playing for a period of time. I get it would have made for much. Like I get I would have gone and seen that movie whenever I see it because again, still not seen it. Don't really fancy watching it by myself, and none of my mates are available to watch it in a minute. But at the same point, I would have still been going into that movie being like, Jean Grey is just the obvious answer. And, like, I still did think she was playing Jean Grey either way. I just think it was the obvious answer. But yeah, so... He's a tank with two pistols. I very much doubt I will get a chance to play him in game. His MP form is that. But going over new stores in the shop. Yes, this is like sort of an Egyptian theme, and a lot of people were saying at the beginning of the season. That it was weird that we didn't get anything to do with Storm, Black Panther, or Moon Knight. And I did see something about someone. I wasn't sure whether it was Moon Knight or Storm. And I'll say no, it does look like a cool Moon Knight skin. I just don't play the character. I've played him in a few very specific events, like missions, like sort of things. I just rarely play the character. Everything else I've gone over like twice. There was the video where there was the Age of Ultron video where I went over and and did the actual Age of Ultron mission. Now, I am gonna do it because it's a limited time thing and it was overall fun. Now, I did it on normal last time, but I am going to do it on hard because... Sorry about that, guys. I've still got a cold. At least I think it's a cold. It might be hay fever. Because the thing I want to try and do is clear hard difficulty for the first time. To get the Ultron skin. So, I'll say no. I also don't have console only on. I basically forgot to turn back on. The first time I played this, go watch the video. There was... Basically, the video was supposed to be similar to what my Overwatch videos are at the minute, where it's short and snippy.
Ready to face Ultron and his Legion.
If you believe in peace, then let us keep it.
And it basically ended up being slightly longer because there was a part in this that I did end up cutting out, but basically I ended up, like, the one part like this ended up taking long, like it was like half an hour, and I was just like, right, so all I'm literally sitting here doing, and like you'll see it from like the stream, is I'm sitting here as like Black Widow just going attack, 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 and attack. There are some fun parts of the video I do recommend going to watch it. I just have to remember how to play Thor.
Behold the god of thunder!
But like my one thing in that was I picked Black Widow, so I'm like, should be cool. I did kind of regret playing her, not completely. It was just a case of I was getting eliminated a lot because Black Widow doesn't do that much damage to Ultron.
The inevitable end of flesh and blood. You think you can win? You're unbearably
Okay, so I have been doing that wrong. See guys, what I've basically been doing is pressing down the left like thumbstick. Because I'm like, it says that and it said no, it's just literally hold L2.
lightning confinement.
And it was fun. Like this game mode is kind of fun. But what, like a few complaints, like we did have a Scarlet Witch player leave halfway through the game. I'm not going to say too much because I do want at the end of the day when we watch the video.
Mission clear. The Avengers.
But it was fun. It was just got to a point where I was just kind of like, all I feel like I'm doing is playing it, is you know going attack and attack and attack. And after a little while, it does get boring.
Ultron's legion swarms in full force, determined to halt Alien escape.
The God of Thunder! But like I say, it's a cool game mode. Damn it.
Meaningless. And here I thought I was the unkillable cockroach. The inevitable end of flesh and blood.
Okay, so I am just terrible when it comes to this. Although to be fair, Black Widow for this,
The inevitable end
I don't think I died that often as Black Widow.
rebooted already.
But again, this is on hard difficulty, so
The inevitable end of flesh and blood. Rebooted already. Behold the God of Thunder! The inevitable end of flesh and blood.
but like I said guys, this is all hard difficulty. Don't necessarily think I'm going to be able to get through it. I will chuck like a base game, like I will chuck like a game of Quick Play in afterwards.
The inevitable end of flesh and blood. And here I thought I was the unkillable cockroach.
Oh, so they are just swarming for me.
Flesh and blood.
Because like 8 deaths are a lot, but everyone else is more or less, which means like better than me at least, which I wouldn't be that surprised. So again, getting swarmed every like 2 seconds.
God of Thunder! My power grows.
Shit, who's saying this is for Pietro? But like I said guys, like this is like the only difference from the original 6 Avengers to this lineup was the fact that Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver were then added, but Quicksilver's not in the game. Like yeah, you had like War Machine who like did join, but again not in the game.
The God of Thunder! The inevitable end of flesh and blood.
We do actually have life, don't we?
Not so easily repaired, are you?
I believe.
Clear, the Avengers forge ahead. The densest concentration of the Ultron Vanguard awaits, and Ultron himself is likely near.
You think you can win? You're unbearably naive.
Ultron sentries detected. Invasion in progress.
The inevitable end of flesh and blood.
Okay, that might not be nice, but still give me a chance to respawn. No idea then. Don't get me wrong, it's kind of cool, but it would also kind of be annoying. Because, like, this is, like, a case of where, like, I wish, like, there are, like, 16 members you could have, and I wish you did have the option.
Behold the god of thunder!
But overall, I'll probably say Scarlet, which is probably good for this, which is why both other team members did go with.
Fragile and utterly meaningless. You think you can win? You're unbearably naive.
I mean, see, but one thing is that the Avengers aren't hitting as hard in this as Ultron does. And, like, the point in like, the MCU with Ultron, and Ultron in general is, like, you can never really get rid of him. Due to the simple reason of he'll always have another body. It's similar to how, like, Apocalypse, like, sort of functions in, like, comics, as far as I'm aware. Like, you can never get rid of Apocalypse because he'll come back in a new body. And, like, with X-Men 97, which is true. His last body was killed, either by Gambit or from aging or from whatever reason. He then took part, he then had somewhat control over Gambit. Yeah, Wanda, we get it, you're doing this for your brother.
The god of thunder!
Which, Scarlet Witch is trying to blow up everything because her brother was killed. Why the hell is she not nuking the field? But also no, it's kind of weird how the fact that she blames Tony Stark for everything that happened beforehand. Because, like, all of his weapons and all a lot. And first of all, there's a difference between Tony and Hammer. Not Hammer, Stane. Stane wanted to basically get money however. Like, he didn't care whether it was a case of he had to essentially flatten a village and kill everyone there if it made him billions. Tony stopped the weapons program because of he saw what dangerous his weapons were in other people's hands. And yeah, I know it's a kind of point to basically go and be like, so did he have suits of armor? He did. He had his armors and the Iron Legion because he knew that Wolf needed protection. And yeah, I know it's kind of stupid the fact that it's like, well, why get rid of everyone else's protection and what, he ain't the only one with it? No, he didn't want his own weapons being in other people's hands that couldn't be trusted.
The inevitable end of flesh and blood. And here
So,
I would be
So that's the reason we did. But I do still think it's kind of one of those things where Scarlet Witch and, you know, Wanda are both like, not Wanda, Pietro, like, it's your fault stuff a lot, like, but we've lost like, everything a lot, and it's like, is it though?
Not so easily repaired, are you? Rebooted already? Fascinating.
Yeah, I'm just terrible at this game mode. Which is no surprising when you realise the fact that like I eventually give up on trying to do hardcore Minecraft content. Because one, it was stressful. Don't get me wrong, someday I might.
Not so easy.
I mean, if Paul could willingly try and cool down Thunder as strong as it actually could be, this would be simple. I get the point, the Scarlet Witch is supposed to be the big strong thing here, but I would say she was more of a side character in the end in the final battle. Because Tony and Thor were the ones who, you know, stopped, was it Slovakia? They stopped the city from destroying everything. Cap, Natasha, and, you know, Clint made sure everyone got onto boats. Vision and Thor did hold off Ultron, and Hulk sort of beat the shit into him. Wanda just sort of played supporting role and did a good bit of damage.
There is only one path to peace. The Avengers' extinction.
Although I will say now, I definitely prefer Hank Pym being the one who created Ultron, because at least in Earth Mighty Heroes, Hank was more of a case of, I will do what I have to protect the world, but I'm not exactly happy about it, because he ends up leaving the Avengers in that, because of the fact of he was fed up and tired of the constant battles, and like being forced to fight. He's a scientist, not a soldier, and there's a difference between the
This invasion is far from over. Ultron has downloaded himself into the Avengers mainframe.
but there was this part, guys, that took a while.
Possesses a neural interface.
But like Iron Man is always going to be one of those cases where he's all like in MCU specifically, he worried about protecting the world to a point where he made sure he could. He made armors for everything.
Not so easily repaired, are you? Rebooted already?
And
Fascinating.
he destroyed all those armors. Am I surprised if we didn't see some of those armors again? No. Why have an armor that's specifically designed to, you know, go at stupid speeds, go underwater, go into space, when he can have something like the Mark 50 do all that? The Mark 50 can like, change and adapt to help, you know, allow him to go faster in situations, like we saw. It can change up, like, and add, like, a solid, like, booster like, situation to make it so he can. He designed one armor to be good in every situation, or to be able to adapt to them. But a lot of his suits have always suffered from the fact of they're not really good in close quarters. So he designed blades for the armor, shields. So I will say now, having one thing that be good at everything kind of means you've got nothing good at one thing. Now, do I think the logic fully applies to Iron Man armors? Maybe. But I don't think it's probably one of those cases where it's a case of, because he has nothing good at one specific thing and everything, being able to adapt to everything, he's then focused on that one adaptation.
Viral purge protocols executing.
But one thing I will say I did like about this playing Black Widow is there was little jump pads that allowed you to jump up there. And it was just fun jumping and going smack, and then, you know, taking pot shots.
Start firewall installation in progress. Current progress 25%.
But I would recommend playing this game mode at least once. I don't think I'd want to play it a stupid amount of times. Was I expecting these to be pitch perfect? No. I thought they might have at least looked cooler. I'm calling a prediction now. I'm going to get 40 deaths easily.
Oh, for pity's sake.
And the one annoying part about this is the technical. Like, I honestly do think it wouldn't be that bad if you had like 6 players.
Behold the god of thunder!
Because it's 6 players against an literal army. And we will probably have designed, like, got that thing specifically designed to handle this. Or it could just be a case that I'm bad at picking characters for this. I hate the fact, like, part of me hates the fact that ults can get cancelled, part of me likes the fact that they can. Also, guys, quickly want to know, yeah, as I said, is a thing I mentioned in the most recent Overwatch video, a video that came out a few hours ago. I think I mentioned it anyway. Is I wasn't 100% sure how the new character that's getting introduced on Tuesday called Demon, how she would work. Because Divas has a thing where she can eject out of her ult, out of her mech, because she has a mech, when the mech's destroyed. Now I wasn't sure whether Demon would have a similar thing or not, because because personally it seemed unfair on both scales. If Demon was then forced out of a mech to get an extra life, it was unfair that Demon didn't. But if Demon wasn't, it was then unfair that Diva was put into a situation where just a pistol and not able to do much. Demon's weapons, and we'll go over more of this in the actual on Tuesday stream, but Demon's weapons do kind of seem a bit better. But I've got a gut feeling it's probably going to be a case of that they probably realised the fact of that they should have made Diva stronger. And do I think it's too late to essentially give Diva a few little touch-ups? No. Am I going to be slightly annoyed if Demon, like, granted she looks like a cool character and I can't wait to actually mess around with her. Am I going to start annoyed if Demon actually has abilities outside the match? Maybe, depending, instantly. Oh, it's because I've done the most damage. I might have got 26 deaths, but I've done the most damage. No, I haven't. Oh, no, I have not. I saw the K, I saw like the triple digits, I didn't see the M or the K. Why am I getting targeted then? Or one shot. Of course, should not be getting one shot.
Please stand by.
And here I thought I was the unkillable cockroach.
But like I was like, it's kind of unfair, and I have learned since that no, Demon does eject from her map. Okay, I don't want to give too much away because the video's only just come out. I don't know why, but I like the Age of Ultron skin. It's one of those things where for a little while I thought it was kind of like, I think it looks better in game than it does in the actual movie. Because, like, one of my complaints about the character in the MCU is Scarlet Witch has never had, like, a cool suit. Like, the suit she had in WandaVision, the one of them looked way too 90s, which was the point. I think the closest she's ever come to having, like, a proper, more modern suit is probably Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness, and she hasn't appeared since. No, a movie that came out, what, 2022 was it? Now, do I think we're ever going to see Scarlet Witch again? Probably not. I think Elizabeth Olsen has kind of said that she wants to, like, take a step back. But I wouldn't be against it. Damn you, Ultron. I would see, on one hand, I wouldn't be against it. On the other hand, I don't know how, like, I don't know whether I've fun just kind of messing with, like, these jumps. I don't know whether on one hand whether Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver are still classified as mutants in the comics. Because basically, Magneto got had, I don't think he still does, 3 kids. Quicksilver, who's always just been a bit of a dick to. Scarlet Witch, and then Polaris. And it kind of does depend, but for the most part he's always just been somewhat decent to his 2 kids. Now, X-Men 97 does cover the fact that Polaris is. The original series did cover the fact that, that Magneto did have 2 kids being Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver. But it's always just been one of those cases where at some points Polaris isn't, some points Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch aren't. And we don't know MCU-wise. Because I'm pretty sure in the original 90s series, they thought both their parents had died, but turns out, and they thought Magneto did it, but turns out they were wrong. But for me, like, they're always going to be the 2 characters that I do associate with the Brotherhood of Evil. Like, more than the X-Men. Not the X-Men. Pardon me, sorry. More than the Avengers. Like, like, again, the shows that I grew up watching had them associated with X-Men more. Again, think about reading comics. I grew up watching X-Men Evolution, Wolverine and the X-Men, and then later on in life I've now seen the original night series, because again, guys, when like growing up in like the 2000s, we didn't have things like Disney Plus to then go back and rewatch stuff. Like, my favourite show was A Kid with Ben 10. If I wanted to watch an episode of that, there was no case of being like, yeah, I've got a few things to do now. Yeah, I'll watch the episode in like half an hour. Okay, but the episode's on now, the things are just going to have to wait. Or I'm just going to have to skip it. There was a point where I was able to record things, but like not always. Granted, I'm pretty sure I died more than that. But at the same point, that didn't feel like it took as long as normal difficulty. Unless it was because I was playing Thor. Oh, come on, someone can give all 4. Like I say, guys, just playing 1 got me up to the point where I am now. I wasn't 100% sure whether that was going to get clear, because it did definitely feel like at a point where it was like, is it? There's like a month left on this, which is kind of cool. See, I don't think I'm going to be switching from Infinity Ultron, because this is a thing that I would like Marvel Legends wise to redo. Because I do think it is like a cool figure. And the premise around it is if Ultron actually took over Vision's body. Like if Ultron won in Endgame, in Age of Ultron, took over Vision's body, Vision didn't become a thing, and he became that. And then got all the Infinity Stones. Because the Mind Stone was already in the head, got the other 5 Infinity Stones, and, you know, planted them into his chest, and then basically became a god. I don't know why this then meant he had to start carrying around a cape. It potentially might have been Thor's cape, I'm not 100% sure. But the Age of Ultron skin is also really cool. I'll quit for a little while. I might end up changing it back. I have no idea. I'll probably do a quick game of Quick Play. See how long that takes, and then maybe do, say, 2 arcade game matches.
The right heroes could make all the difference.
That honestly did take longer, like, do it normally. If someone wanted to play Magneto, we have someone playing the Hood, we have 2 people wanting to play Strategist. I'm taking the DPS role. Now, why I do whinge about there being too many DPS characters in this game, DPS is always going to be one of my more favourite roles to play, but I do also like playing support.
They'll be coming in 30 seconds. Stay strong.
But like guys, it's kind of nice to
Charles would be proud, Eric. You've come so far.
turn around and say like, the new season of Overwatch isn't introducing a new DPS. It's a tag. This season of Marvel Rivals hasn't introduced a new DPS. It's kind of nice to say
3, 2,
that we're going to be going at least 3 months without a new DPS between either game. And I kind of like that. Like, I kind of like the fact there's going to be a good bit of time. Did we also get a new skin that I did not know about? Or was that Emma Frost? But I will mess around with the Hood after, but again, the only bits I know about the character are from Ironheart, which I will say now, wasn't a good show. Like, I will 100% take back all my criticisms and have Spider-Man be Iron Boy Jr. longer. Granted, I'm happy in the MCU that he's not. I'm happy he's more of actually Spider-Man. Again, not seen Brand New Day, but this going based on the fact that like No Way Home he was, and the fact that he's now working on basically what he's got and, you know, surviving with all that lot. You know, he's surviving with his own stuff and not other people's.
You haven't lost your touch, Eric.
Although I will say now, I will be going into that movie knowing more than I kind of wish I did. Because guys, I'll say now, when I saw the first trailer and saw the fact that people were randomly speaking to Pete, and he didn't know who he was, I was like, my first thought was not a telepath. It just wasn't. I was like, who the, like, I saw that dude and I'm like, who the hell is like he meant to be in all? And but like Jean's motivation in the MCU wise just is kind of interesting. I don't know in the comics if she has a sister. If she does, it's never been mentioned in shows. Unless it does turn out to be the fact that they're going around the clone situation and just having it classified as her sister. Which I wouldn't be against. I would not be against Madeline Prime basically being the equivalent of Jean's sister. And having it be like Madeline Gray. I wouldn't really be against that, but like, Jean whole thing is like, because I do like the concept of, and I do think it was definitely good for Spider-Man Brand New Day. Kinda would have been happy with the symbiote movie, with Pete like going off the edge with the symbiote and like not having no one and the symbiote just sort of. But then again, if the symbiote ends up being in the next one and it ends up being a case of like Pete's then pushing the people away that he'd only just got back. Because I am presuming in Brand New Day that we are going to that Pete's gonna basically, you know, that he's gonna, you know, get his friends back, so they're gonna remember him. I don't know whether the fact that he's gonna go back to having the life he did, I very much doubt it. From the things I've seen, I don't think so, but again, I've not seen the end of the movie, I've not seen none of that, I've only seen a few brief things. Which again, is more than what I want to say, which I did call out, like, the internet when it comes to new movies, especially new MCU movies, is instantly like, we must upload everything to do with it. At that point, I'd rather them upload the movie. Plus guys, I'm one of those people that I don't mind going to watch a movie in the cinemas, but I much prefer watching movies on my home comfort. No, is this because I like going on? Is this because I like going on my phone all that lot or anything during that? No, it's more of a case of like sometimes I will think now I don't have the best attention span, and there are some times where I do generally get bored, and I like the ability to sort of go and be like, right, I can watch some of this movie now, and then come back to it when I want to. Plus, movie tickets aren't cheap. But like I will say now, I've seen more than like I wish I hadn't seen a few things that I saw about the movie, but what I will say is spoilers now. There is a nice little contrast between Pete not having anyone and Jean, because Jean, her sister dies, which I didn't know she had one. Which if it's from the comics, then fair enough. Which probably is. It's probably just something that shows and like that lot have never really wanted to touch. Or it could be something new from the comics. I have no idea. Which if so, 97 probably wouldn't, because why would it? 97 is supposed to be more like faithful to the original 90s show. And if I could pick 5 shows to get the 97 treatment, to basically have like get new seasons and be faithful and what shows I would pick would be Spectacular Spider-Man, X-Men Evolution, and by the X-Men by 97 treatment I either mean A, being like getting like for the most part I basically just mean getting a new season. Yes, X-Men Evolution did end on 4 seasons and did end in a way, like it was an ending. But I'd love to see what they would have done for season 5 because there were plans. And Spectacular Spider-Man ends in a way, but I'm not happy with the ending. I would love to get a new season. Then there was another show that ends.
By the eye of Agamotto.
And I can't remember how it ends. Wolverine and X-Men would have been a cool one to get another season 4 because that felt. It had, like that show honestly does feel like you're watching something that knows it's got limited time. And so it does what it can with that limited time. And like I want to say something like the Batman to get that treatment. Like that ended on a good way. Plus I wouldn't swap Cape Crusaders because for anything, because Cape Crusaders is actually good. But like if I had to pick it, it'd be Spectacular Spider-Man and X-Men Evolution. Oh, and the original 90s Spider-Man, I forgot about that. They both end in ways where it basically shows more could happen. Spectacular ends in a way where everyone thinks Norman's dead, but turns out not to be. Gwen and Pete end up on a case of do they, don't they, like will they, won't they situation, and
You are nothing.
and
The final 10 seconds.
and it would have been cool to get another ending for that. The original 90s Spider-Man ends on Pete not necessarily. Because, like, we know at some point he finds MJ, because 97 teases it. We don't know how, and it'd be cool to find out. And then X-Men Evolution ends on the fact of basically showing us what could have happened if we got Season 5 or Season 6. And if Season 4 was longer. Season 4 is about 9 episodes. And it shows at the right end that we were going to see the Phoenix arc. We were going to see what Magneto's training would have looked like it was in 97. And we were going to see a bunch of new suits, and potentially see Rogue flying. Because she is seen landing, which means, and presumably, we would have seen Captain Marvel. But I'm also presuming that probably would have been the case. They probably would have gone, over time, all the powers Rogue has taken has led to some variety of, like, she's got, like, Colossus and, like, Wolverine's strength enhanced, which is just added up to super strength, and, like, Storm and like, Jean's flight, which is then allowed her to fly and have super strength. Because the big downside to Rogue in X-Men Evolution is, until she touches someone and gets her powers, she can't really do much. Compared to 97 Rogue, where she has super strength, she has flight. She also has the ability to absorb other powers and absorb other people, like, just by touching them, sort of thing. Shut up there. Yeah. I will do 2 quick games of arcade. But, like, it would have been cool. And, like, the original 90s Spider-Man, like, again, ends in the way that it's like, we see the fact of Pete and MJ get married, well, technically. Which would have been interesting to go, without the fact of him saving her, and then him being like, well, MJ, legally speaking, we're married, so before you freak out, it was a water clone of you created by Hydro Man because he's obsessed with you, and legally on paper we are.
You're on your own this
I mean, I'm
time,
presuming the
so
fact
choose
of, like,
wisely.
they'd probably have to get, like, a nod or something.
The battle starts in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
We'll mess around. I did not know how to turn the skin on.
Shadow and light.
I'd forgot how to turn the skin on. I will be changing it after this. I don't hate it, it's just a case of I'd forgot.
You've got one job. Take down as many enemies as you can.
Oh shit, that's out. But again, because of 97, we see the fact that he does find her at some point. And there are unanswered questions, and I'd love for him to get answered. Also, if anything, I'd say 97 is proof that going back to an old show and giving it some special treatment is not the worst choice you can make.
My hunt continues.
And I'm saying now, the 3 shows I mentioned, almost everyone would be like, yes, Spectacular Spider-Man is seen as one of the best Spider-Man shows. And a lot of people were annoyed because it felt like we left that to then get Ultimate Spider-Man, who was like the complete opposite because they didn't want to do another full adaptation of Spider-Man at the time. Either way, it was stupid. And but the 90s show definitely deserves it. Wolverine and the X-Men also is one that I think would be cool to get another season. And I'd either want them to get the 97 treatment or the Young Justice treatment. Do I necessarily think they need to come back in like a whole new sort of like show sort of thing? No. I do think they deserve new seasons. And there is precedent for it. Young Justice was cancelled after season 2, and it ended off with the fact of Wally sacrificing himself. Now, if they thought they were going to do a season 3, they probably wouldn't have done that. I hate being in this maze. But then it come back with season 3 and 4, which weren't as good. I just shipped full of Apocalypse. Yeah, not Apocalypse. Therefore, your swords aren't so sharp. Never mind.
I don't give up so easily.
But like, it would be cool because again, Young Justice is that the presence of a show can come back like a decade later. Because Young Justice came out what, 2012? That got like a season 3 and 4 a few years ago. I think during 2020.
I'm back. Mind, body, and soul. The enemy has arrived.
But, yeah, like... Again, they're just shows I would love to read. Like, Wolverine and the X-Men, I wouldn't be so bothered about. Because again, it's one of those shows that it's good. But there are kind of other shows that I would prefer, and if I could only pick 3, it would have to go to the original 90 series for Spider-Man, Spectacular, and then Evolution. Now, why Wolverine and the X-Men and X-Men Evolution do end on a way that doesn't really leave anything to sort of imagine. It does leave, I concentrate on the game to believe what I was saying. But it does leave in a case where there is more stuff that could be told. And we get shown some of that stuff, and I would love to see that stuff. I'd love to see a season where Jean is the bad guy, because the Phoenix is too strong. Do that as like a season 5, and do it so for like season 6, Scott's not coping with it, like, he's lost the person he loves. He can't cope with the fact of her death. And that he will do anything to sort of bring her back. And it sets him on like this sort of dark path, and you have like things like Magneto talking to him. Being like, this is not what she would want. And I do think it would overall be interesting. And like season 6, like factor like the Phoenix could say we come back, and it delivers Jean back, and it's focused on about containing the Phoenix's power. Now, do I think they'd go as dark as killing Jean off? No. I do think it would potentially go as close as her being on Death's Door, and Cyclops being willing to do whatever it takes, and it falls into a new season.
You're on your own this
I
time.
don't like the Sanctum Centauri though. I was going to change the skin, wasn't I? And I'll do it after this.
The battle starts in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
I am the Phoenix. Behold my cosmic might.
You got one job.
I was like,
Take
why the
down
hell
as
can't I do
many
anything?
enemies as you can.
And for a very split second, I was like, please don't time out a minimum run, just play the game again.
Turning up the heat.
Double KO.
The Phoenix bird
But I do think it would be interesting. Because I know from 97 we're not going to get any... I very much doubt we're ever going to get a Dark Phoenix story considering it's based off the original 90 show. And they've already done it. Do I think a modern take of it would be interesting? Yes. Do I think we need one? No. Am I against the MCU doing one? No. I don't think the MCU needs one, but I'm not against it. And because again, we've had 2 live-action story representation of it. So I don't really think we need another.
The other team needs to eliminate 6 more players. The other team needs to eliminate 5 more players.
Reborn again. Good times.
And because one of the same threats, like we've had 2 live-action like Dark Phoenix stories. There's the Dark Phoenix movie, and then there was X-Men Last Stand, where Magneto was sort of like, "Child, you're running out a very deadly weapon, and I want you in my arsenal." And then in Dark Phoenix, where Jean physically can't control the power, and she doesn't necessarily want to let go of the power, but she also doesn't want to let something take over. I would kind of be in, because I don't want them to full on do a Dark Phoenix story and then just... and then just end up killing off Jean Grey. I don't want that. I want the X-Men to stick around. And quite frankly, I've seen what happens when Cyclops doesn't have his Jean. Yeah, I don't fancy seeing that again. Wolverine and the X-Men, he kind of went on a case of, I'm picking a fight with anyone who can tell me anything. To a point where he was willing to go toe-to-toe with Logan again, which is nothing new. Wasn't far off. He wasn't far off from, you know, eliminate Emma when he found out the fact that it was down to her. And it was just an interesting story. Now, if we do get like a Dark Phoenix storyline, what do I want to see from one? Instead of doing a Dark Phoenix storyline, I would be kind of happy seeing a case of Jean not being able to control her powers storyline, and Cyclops from Cyclops's and her bond then being able to control said power.
They're gonna find out how much chaos I can cause. Well, looky here.
Now, guys, something that I do kind of like, but I kind of wish was an option, is when it comes to playing certain heroes, more specifically whoever the newest hero is, they get like their other skin. So starting off with the Hood, he has quick primary fires. R2 puts up a field.
Through the void. Did you miss me?
R1 does that.
That marks the spot.
And then Triangle does that, just like starts doing damage over time, but allows you to also teleport, and then also increases his firepower.
Unfriendly fire.
So I think the Hood's going to be a character that I'm going to end up playing.
Personal.
No.
Yo soy el final.
Now you can turn into this more demonic form and start firing off strong cannon blasts. But again,
Looky here. That marks the
put
spot.
that down, and then you hit triangle, you then teleport to the thing. And it also starts healing you. L2 puts up a field. I think L2's a shield field, like shield sort of thing.
Through the void.
And then like L1's a shield. No, L2 increases your gunfire.
Double KO.
Don't mess with me. Did you miss me?
And then R1 does that.
Yo soy el final!
My time is now.
And you get so many shots of that. Again, if the Hood a good character, yes. Is he going to be competitive value, like viable? More than likely, I wouldn't be that surprised. Quick gunfire, way to increase his fire, allow him to take care of people in easier situations. Does definitely seem like someone that would be useful. Are there any tanks that I think that sort of do his job better? No. Like, there are other tanks like things like Magneto that I think are probably better at shooter-wise. But if his whole thing is basically allowing him to boost up his power.
Unfriendly fire.
Double kill! That's 3!
Okay, so after a while,
Wow, 4 in a row!
you do end up just... So, okay, so Alpha 2 might just push the thing up, allowing you to do that quicker. Again, probably not someone I'm going to play in comp, or in general, because again, my only interaction with the character is from Ironheart, and I'm saying this now, Ironheart as a character, like, I've never really hated, never really liked. It's just sort of neutral. It's like one of those characters in Iron Man that I'm like, kind of cool. Like, I prefer things like Rescue and War Machine over it. But I'm not against the character. But the Hood, my first interaction was Ironheart. But someone like Ironheart herself, I'd had interactions from like Avengers Assemble. I had heard of before. And guys, I have nothing against the actor playing playing the Hood in the MCU, because it was the same person who was in Transformers: Rise of the Beast. Who was that kid? That dude. I don't know, so I can't think of his name. And again, nothing against him because he was good in that.
There you are.
But I'm just not interested in the Hood. Yeah, kind of cool, kind of a lot, but again, I'm still going to choose things like Phoenix. Not Phoenix, Rogue, Emma Frost, Magneto, Devil Dinosaur, Deadpool. But like I say, cool character. Anyway guys, thanks for watching this Tiger sign off, hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you guys next time. This week's videos, I will quickly mention this now. Tuesdays and Fridays there'll be streams. There might be a Marvel Rivals video on Monday. There won't be no Monster Hunter. I'm not feeling 100% at the minute, and again, not in the mood to play Monster Hunter. There'll be Craft More Night next Friday. And unless I wish to decide to drop a different trailer, there won't be none next week, because I'm presuming the only trailer that will be available will be the one that's literally just come out. I might try and chuck something else in additional for next week, but anyway guys, thanks for watching. This is Tiger signing off, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.